You can be confident and still feel shy. That is the part most people get wrong. They think confident people walk into a room and feel completely comfortable. Not true. Sometimes confidence looks like speaking while your voice is a little shaky. Sometimes it looks like saying what you think even when your heart is beating fast. And sometimes confidence is simply not letting your fear make the decision for you. If you are naturally quiet, shy, or nervous around people, you do not need to become a completely different person. You need to train a few small behaviors. And the first one is probably the strangest. Stop trying to look confident. When you enter a room and start thinking, "Do I look nervous? What are they thinking about me? What should I say? Am I standing weird?" Your attention turns inward. You start watching yourself like you are an actor on a stage. Psychologists call this self-focused attention, and it can make social situations feel even harder because your brain is busy monitoring you instead of understanding the conversation. So try something different. Instead of asking, "How am I coming across?" ask, "What can I notice about this person?" Maybe they are excited about something. Maybe they keep talking about their new project. Maybe they seem tired. Maybe they are also nervous. You are moving your attention from yourself to the world around you. And suddenly, you don't have to perform. You just have to participate. That brings us to the second way. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Confidence is often built after the action, not before it. Think about something simple. You want to ask a question in class. You know the question, but your mind says, "Wait, maybe someone else will ask." So you stay quiet. The next day, the same thing happens, and your brain quietly learns something dangerous. I am someone who stays quiet. But imagine you ask the question anyway. Maybe your voice is soft. Maybe you feel embarrassed for 5 seconds. Nothing terrible happens. Your brain gets new evidence. I can speak even when I feel nervous. That evidence matters. Your brain does not become confident because you gave yourself a motivational speech. It becomes more confident when it repeatedly experiences you doing the thing you were afraid to do. So don't make your goal be confident. Make your goal ridiculously small. Ask one question. Say hello first. Give your opinion once. Make one phone call instead of sending a message. Small acts of courage are training sessions for confidence. And here is the third one. Learn to survive tiny moments of awkwardness. This is something shy people often try very hard to avoid. You say something and nobody responds. You make a joke and it falls flat. You walk into a room and suddenly forget what you wanted to say. Your brain screams, "That was so embarrassing." But here's the problem. If you treat every awkward moment like an emergency, you teach yourself that social mistakes are dangerous. Instead, practice letting awkward moments exist without immediately trying to repair them. If you forget someone's name, simply say, "Sorry, remind me of your name?" If you lose your words, pause. If a conversation becomes quiet, let it be quiet for a second. You don't have to fill every silence. You don't have to make everyone comfortable. You don't have to be perfect. This sounds small, but it changes something important. You stop measuring confidence by how smoothly everything goes. You start measuring it by how calmly you recover when something doesn't. And that is a much stronger kind of confidence. Now, the fourth way is about something people rarely connect with shyness: your physical voice. When people feel nervous, they often speak faster. They use smaller sentences. Their voice becomes quieter. And sometimes they finish their sentence as if they are asking permission to have an opinion. So here's a simple experiment. The next time you speak, slow down just a little. Not dramatically, just enough to give your words space. And before answering, allow yourself one small pause. You don't need to instantly respond. That pause tells your brain, I have time. And when your brain feels less rushed, your speech often becomes clearer. You can also practice speaking your thoughts out loud when you are alone. Explain what you are doing. Tell a story about your day. Read a page from a book. Record yourself for 1 minute, not to judge your voice, not to become perfect, just to become familiar with hearing yourself speak. Because sometimes you are not afraid of speaking. You are simply unfamiliar with your own voice. And the fifth way may be the most important. Stop using your personality as an excuse. You might tell yourself, I'm just shy. I've always been quiet. I'm not good with people. But be careful. There is a difference between describing yourself and limiting yourself. I am quiet is a description. I can't speak confidently is a rule. And rules can change. You don't need to become loud. You don't need to become the funniest person in the room. You don't need to talk constantly. Some of the most confident people are calm. They listen carefully. They choose their words. They don't fight for attention. Confidence is not the volume of your personality. It is the freedom to express yourself without constantly asking for permission. So start noticing the moments when you shrink yourself. Maybe you have an opinion, but keep it inside. Maybe you want to join a conversation, but wait too long. Maybe someone asks what you want, and you automatically say, anything is fine. Try changing one of those moments. Say what you actually want. Share the opinion. Join the conversation before your brain gives you 10 reasons not to. And don't expect yourself to feel fearless. You probably won't. The goal is not to remove nervousness. The goal is to stop treating nervousness like a stop sign. Because confidence isn't a magical feeling that suddenly appears one morning. It is a relationship you build with yourself. Every time you speak when your voice feels uncertain, you learn something. Every time you survive an awkward moment, you learn something. Every time you express what you actually think, you learn something. Slowly, I can handle this. I can recover. I can speak. I can be myself. And one day, you may notice something surprising. You are not suddenly fearless. You are simply no longer waiting for fear to disappear before you live your life. Take one small step today. Your future isn't built in one big moment. It's built in the quiet choices you make every day. Until next time.